Live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, this is Spirit Medium Laura. Thank you for tuning in this evening. We already have a pretty full queue, but if there are people that want to tune in from Facebook or wherever, if you're just listening, I'm sure we'll try to get to you. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, you can donate 8 and jump the gate. I'm going to just spend a couple of minutes saying hello to some people in Facebook. I see somebody there, Alan, I think it is, unless I'm going. Alan, I think it is. Yes. Hi, Alan. We don't have a lot of people yet in Facebook, but I just wanted to say hello to him. So tonight we will be doing mediumship and messages. I also will be starting out with a brief little focus subject, and then we'll go to the phone lines. Many of you know me, many of you do not know me. Basically, I am a medium. I do work with people in 4 areas. One is helping people with their own life. I'm the intermediary. I bring in spirit, guides, angels, whatever your terminology is, to help you manifest and use metaphysical principles, spiritual law, and all that good stuff to gain facility in creating your dreams. The second thing I do is mediumship, connecting with the other side, and bringing in loved ones, both animals and humans, from the spirit realm in an evidential way to Earth, to the sitters, if you will. And then the third thing I do is medical mediumship. I am also a certified health coach, and I was going to be a doctor when I was in college, but then I discovered that ain't for me. So I just went off and majored in English Lit instead, and then had a complete career in the software industry. And through a series of circumstances that my soul knew more than I ended up opening up this gift. Actually, I've been channeling spirit for over 30 years. And I've been working with spiritual metaphysic principles for over 50 years. Yeah, I know. I started before I got here. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I'm pretty old. So I am, it's a life, it's like who I really am. And I help people get in touch with who they really are as an intermediary to your guides, so that you can live the best life, live abundantly for you. Because what I learned in my own life is that when we align with our gifts, with our soul, that's when our miracles happen. That's when we enter a state of flow, divine flow, when we have more synchronicity. We have more luck, so to speak. I don't want to sound trite about it, but things sort of connect better when we're on point for who we are. I hope that makes sense to you. A couple of housekeeping things. One I already mentioned is the donation. I call it the 8 No Wait. There is a website for the show. The website is spiritmediumtv.com. There you can make the donation. You can also get the free for me, or learn more about that, which is free time. If you're a radio show listener and you book a session, if you put in free for me in the event code field when you're booking your session at booklaura.com, you will get a third more time free than that for which you paid. Yay! So if you paid for 30 minutes, you get a third of that, which is 10 minutes appended for the same price, added to your session for the same price. What else is there? Oh, yeah, everybody that's tuning in on Facebook might want to know that there's a phone number to call if you do want to get in the reading queue. And that phone number is on the comments section of this post, this live event. It's on my Spirit Medium Laura page on Facebook. And I'm going to say it to you now, but I'm trying to give you places to go, because after I say it, we're moving on. So it is written down. It's written at spiritmediumtv.com. It's written on the header on my Facebook public profile page. And the number is area code 347-945-5849. Okay, so the focus subject for tonight, not going to be very long, but if you join our mailing list, you'll be in the loop of when I'm doing my other shows, my next shows, and also the focus subjects. I'm writing tons of articles of things that happened when I worked in spirit, worked with spirit. But today's focus subject was going to be about the immune system. And I have a link to that in the newsletter. But to find it on my website, spiritmediumlaura.com or spiritmediumtv.com, they're both pages on my website. There is a search field at the top of the page. And if you put in their immune system, you should be able to find the article. And so basically there's a protocol there because I used to get very, very sick. I had a couple of really big losses about 4 years ago, emotional losses, and I was under a lot of stress 4 to 5 years ago. And I kept getting sick, like to the point where I thought, maybe I'm dying. And even now, it keeps coming back, and then I'm able to get over it a lot more. But I found a way to eat better. I became a certified coach at that time, and all that's in there. And basically, it's I'll summarize it because I love to summarize things. I hate details, everybody. But the summary is basically you're eating a whole food, plant-based diet, but you do eat some organic animal protein, preferably fish, and also vegan protein, but you could also add in other kinds in limited quantities, because I find that when you completely eliminate high quality protein from your diet, and I've been studying this assiduously, that it does tend to affect your immune system. It also can affect muscle mass in the body. Not that you can't have muscle if you're vegan, completely vegan. I'm not saying that's not true, but you have to work a lot harder to get the quality of protein and enough of it into the body. And for me, somebody who has Epstein-Barr, I have to really be careful with my immune system. Now, I am going to try something new, which is, it's called, well, there's many ways to do it, but there's something in particular called the Fasting Mimicking Diet by Dr. Longo, Longo. He's got a book called, what's it called, The Longevity Diet and all this. And I'm pretty much talking about what he talks about, and another doctor named Mark Hyman's talks about saying, but when you take a good, a certain kind of fast, not any old fast, but a specific protocol of a fast, and you might have heard of this a lot. It's used a lot in spiritual practices, and it's also like quite often our body tells us to not eat any food. And what that's doing is resetting everything. It's the body is clearing itself out of the stuff that no longer works. It clears out the illnesses. It anti-ages you, and it can reset your immune system as well. In any event, that's not in the article. The only thing is in the article is the how to eat, basically exercise, get fresh air, meditate, all those good things. And that is in part created from the certification, the research, and also my intuition of what I've been told to do. So if you're curious, you might want to do that. If you have medical issues, I don't know why it's so, but for some reason or other, they come right into me. It's one of those things that I can do pretty well. So I want to say, hello, Tony. Can't see your names that well, not because I'm blind, but something with my screen here. It doesn't show me things very. Jason, Lorraine. Oh, hey, Lorraine. How you doing? Tony, Alfonso, Rick, and I can't see, there's other names up there. So anybody, again, in Facebook that does want to try to connect to the reading queue, I'm not going to be reading off of Facebook. I will, because I like to get the feedback of what, whether it's true or not. Seems to be a delay on Facebook to do that. It's much more direct, and also it's easier psychically if I can hear your voice. So it's advised that you would call in, and again, the number is 347-945-5849. Okay, so now we are going to do a connection, psychic connection, and then I will go to the phone lines. Isn't that exciting? So everybody listening, if you would please sit back in your respective locations, whether or not you're in the queue or not, you can join us psychically. That's optional if you're not in the queue, but if you are in the queue, yes, please join us psychically. And uncross your arms and legs and start to breathe from your abdomen, breathing in deeply. And on the exhale, releasing any and all stress, any and all tension, thinking today about your issues, continuing to breathe from your abdomen. If you are wanting an other side connection, then call in your loved ones now from the other side and be open to who does come through, because spirit has an agenda. And it also might help you, whoever does show up, bring in who you want. So sometimes we don't get the one you're looking for right away, but we do pull in other souls that open the door. Keep that in mind. Be very open to who does come through. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go off and invoke the master prayer, and I will be back in a second. And now, on your next exhale of breath, please release into your space your energy, and I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to go to the phone lines. Somehow I feel like I'm forgetting something. I hope I'm not, everybody. Okay, going to the first caller who called in early. And if you do call in earlier, like 6:45 Eastern time, a little 15 minutes before the hour, you have a better chance of getting read to this evening. I'm going to, I believe the name, if I pronounce it correctly, is Latonia. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, Latonia, you have a live question. I hadn't said this yet this evening, but when you have a question, please just give me the question and not all the background of the question, because you would then lead the medium, and you don't want to do that, right? So go ahead and give me your question, Latonia.
Do you see my relationship with Jim turning into something more committed?
Yeah, let's see what we can do with this. It's a good relationship, actually, for what it is. I just want to see if we can get more committed. It's a good, but I get a good on it. Let's continue with this. He's very frightened of something. Something from the past that haunts him, that keeps him and holds him back in his own little space, or I don't know, back. He holds him back. He's really trying to get over this. It's something from the past that's nothing to do with you. He's afraid of losing people or losing people in his life. I also feel that he would have had some kind of background or experience. It's not like a love thing. This is bigger than that, like bigger than just a relationship. It's almost as if he was in battle or lost some people that were close to him. Maybe if he was in the services, the armed services, or he lost somebody that way. Somehow it's a big thing for him. Would that make sense to you, please, Latonia? Yeah. And so until he can get over that, he's going to be very jumpy, I guess is a word, skittish, if you will, because emotional commitment is really hard for him because of this fear he has of, they're using the word fear of the unknown, but also fear of what it would be like if he were involved with somebody and then he loses that person. So what I would suggest, if somehow we can get him to go get some kind of counseling or somehow get over that, it would help a lot. It may not be possible. I'm going to take a quick look at that for you. Did he go? He has tried. He's tried many, many things. Nothing seems to work for him. So the answer then is you and him over time can work this out by you being somewhat understanding and patient. But it's just a matter of time before he can get over those defenses, if you will, and become more comfortable. Again, it's nothing really that you're doing right or wrong. It's just a matter of time for him to get comfortable. And I do feel this can turn into something very good. So are you willing to be patient and just be yourself and see if he can iron this out? Because that's what's needed.
So far, it's been about 9 months so far.
Yeah, interesting. 9 months is an interesting number because it's the length of time that a woman would, that birth occurs in human species. It's almost, so I'm wondering if there's any significance to that number. Let me just see something here. Is this a critical time? I'm asking Spirit, Latonia. Is this a critical time in the relationship for her, please? Well, it is a time for you to see if he's going to be able to get through this or not. I feel this is going to sound a little weird, but if you could put some kind of tests into the relationship, see, I think it's time now for you to test him just with the slightest amount of distress. See if he can be okay. If, for example, you're not immediately Johnny on the spot if he calls you up or he needs you for something. Just test him a little bit. It's like going to the gym and lifting weights. It will help him develop a more firmer standing in the relationship. You can't always be there like babying. Not that you are, but I'm just saying you can't be Johnny on the spot for him 24/7. You have to give him, you have to pull away a little bit, not a lot, a little bit to help form a solid foundation. Do you understand what I mean by that? Yeah. So this is the time to do that. This is the time because you've given him a lot of space. You've given him a lot of coddling, if you will, or understanding, if you will. And so now to help him develop a lot more of a foundation for moving forward, it's a funny thing, but Spirit is showing me that you should help him build his emotional strength by pulling away every now and then a little bit and just not being always that much there for him. By other people's standards, it would be nothing really, pulling away a little bit, but by his standards, it helps him develop a little bit more self-sufficiency and emotional maturity and move forward. But if I have to make a prediction, I do feel it can be worked out over time, but just, pull away a little bit every now and then, and that should tighten up the relationship. Okay? All right, sweetie. I'm going to let you go then, okay? Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to the second person waiting in the queue, and thank you for 864-919 for calling in as well. There are other people that called in. Second person in the queue is Sharon. Hi, Sharon. I got through to you. Hi, honey. Finally got to you, right? Thank you for being so patient.
Wonderful.
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
listening.
I know, but I listen when I don't know. Hey, first come, first serve. I understand,
Yeah, well,
But thank you for taking my call.
Sure. And some people don't understand and they get mad, but it is what it is. I want everybody to know Sharon has called in a lot of times and I wasn't able to get to her, but she understands. Okay, go ahead, honey. Again, if you're giving me a live question, do not give me all the background. Just give me the question.
Do you feel this year I'm going to meet my significant other? I'm talking to men right now, dating, but no one. Do you see me getting into a real relationship this year? Serious?
Well, I kind of get a blasting yes. Let's give you some more details. Well, something in you that shifted, aside from the fact you're putting effort in, but you're more mature about this now, more realistic. I mean, yeah, more realistic, more willing, more willing to pick from the choices of these mere humans that are about you. Right? And that shows that you're ready. See? And so because you're willing to accept a human being versus a paradigm, which is where you started from, which is useful. It's useful for us to have our list, if you will. But the list is an abstract concept. But I see that you've shifted from that ideal to what is real. And because of that, I do somebody will be coming into your life very shortly, actually. And let me just see what I can get on this for you, time-wise. Few months, not that much longer. It could take even longer because, even though you're more willing and you're more realistic, everything has to line up, including a willing person, willing partner, if you will. And when I say that, I'm being led to say that one of the things you need to put in your spectrum, if you will, of what you're looking for is, part of the thing that makes somebody desirable is that they are wanting, which is something that you've overlooked. Okay, that's what. Okay, so add that into your arsenal of what you're looking for, and that will help you because it can come as soon as 4 months, but it also could come later out, as long as 3 years away. It all depends on how you're selecting and what you're looking for. The person, you have the right idea of who this person should be like, what that person should have to, in terms of an offering to you, emotional, spiritual, and so on and so forth. But the one thing that seemed to be maybe overlooked, you were assuming, but don't overlook this, is that you have to look for a person who is wanting as much as you do for that connection. You have made a few mistakes in the past. It's time now to just forget about all that. It has no bearing on you anymore, where you're going. All that is not going to interfere with you moving forward, which was something that you were wondering about. But that will not bother, that will not get in the way. Wait a minute, there's something else. Do you have a teenage daughter? Is there any younger person in your life that you're responsible for? Okay.
They're all in 20s, mid-20s. Yeah.
Do you know?
What is that about?
They're all in their 20s?
Yeah.
Oh, so you do have children. Okay, so maybe I'm getting the age wrong. If there's a female I see that's a little, like maybe she's in her 20s, she's not in her teens, okay? Okay, she pops into my vision like clairvoyantly. Suddenly I see her. And there's a reason for this. Maybe she's the youngest of all of them, and maybe she needs you more than the others. I want to see what they want to say about that. Could be a little, maybe something holding you back, or maybe it's something to help you. Let me just see why they're showing me that. Your daughter, I think, is your youngest one. Okay. Well, okay. Your youngest one, is she like about 24 or so? 25? Yeah. She's very wise soul. And they're making me laugh because they're saying she's giving you a lot of good advice. Okay. So actually she's part of, yeah, she's a good person to, I know it may sound odd, but she comes in with a lot of wisdom and her ideas are very solid. So she's going to be telling you, she's going to be telling you something at a gathering that you were not thinking of going to, but she's going to suggest you go to it. And so again, out of her wisdom, out of, the eyes of the innocent, the mouth of the innocent, comes some good ideas. So listen to her and do the things she's suggesting. Also incorporate that. Be aware of her presence and what comes out of her mouth, because there's some good ideas. And one of them is, I think it's some social event that you might have overlooked that she's going to say, no, there's a lot of good people there. You should go check it out, Mom. Okay? So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Listen to your youngest daughter, and your idea of real person is very good, and now add in the idea that person's wanting to have that connection as much as you without being needy, of course. Okay, my dear?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning. I'm not finished with the show. I'm just going to say she reminds me of something, is that it is an honor for me to share this. I don't know, it's like a miracle, right? We're talking to higher beings, and I get to be the intermediary. And for me, I'm very, very grateful, not only to you, all the listeners, but also to the higher up. So I want to just say that. Okay, I'm going to the third caller, if I can find that third caller. There she is, Amy. Hey, Amy, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. As I was mentioning, I'm so grateful to be able to participate in my life this way.
Okay, I'm sorry that I just walked into my other room. Hey, I'm so grateful to hear you. Thank you. I want to sell my Tulsa, Oklahoma property, 1226 North Canton Place, and I need to work with my tenants. And I want it to go smoothly, and yet I have this question mark, how to go about this, because I think they know it's already going on. But I don't want I want it to go smooth, easily. I want them to move out in peace and harmony. And I can tell you their names, but
Well, don't say anything just
what
yet.
do you think?
Well, you don't tell me their names yet. Let me just see something. So I'm going to go silent for a moment. Bear with me. Yeah, you'll be able to sell it fairly easily. And if you give them a notice and like a notice, enough time, they'll be okay with it, and they will find something actually more to their liking than they have now, because they've been under some distress because of various aspects of the property that are not to their liking. So actually, it's going to be a relief to them as well as to you, that they be sort of told, this is the end of this party. If you time to find your new place to destroy. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Okay. So, you actually can say, since you've been so dissatisfied with the environment, this is probably a blessing for you as well. Hint, hint. And they will be happy to leave at the end of the lease as was anticipated, and it will not be a burden nor a problem for you. And that's what I'm getting. So.
Wonderful. Because I'm going to give them a written notice. I almost feel like just doing it in handwriting in a sweet way, because all those technical ones are just so.
I think
I don't like how it doesn't feel good in my heart.
But you do need to do both. So, put a little note on the top, a handwritten note, loving note. I have a feeling that you're more loving than the situation merits. I don't feel these people are all that appreciative of a kind person or a loving person. I don't think they're not going to be hurt, because they're not sensitive souls like you are. But anyway, you should put it in a legalese document, and then you should have your little note on it. You could put your note on it if that makes you feel like you're putting a beautiful touch to it, which is fine. But I have a very strong sense. Of course, I'm not a lawyer, so you can always talk to your chosen legal counsel. But I have a strong feeling that the legalese is needed here, and that it would allow them to know that this is, what do they call that? Fait du complete or something in French, but the end of the line here, and it's done, and there's no wiggle room to it. And if it's in a legalese document, it will help you frame the situation so you don't have any liability, and all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and everybody knows what's going on. Make sense?
Excellent. And one quickie on this: do you think I should call them also ahead of time and just say, look, you don't want to buy it. I'm going to go forth with selling this, and I'm just giving you a heads up. Or should I just send a letter?
I think you should do only the letter, the written stuff with the handwritten note, and if that makes you feel better, but certainly the legal documents. Handwritten or just, typed on a computer or whatever. But I also feel that you need to be very shrewd. You need to cover your bases here by doing a return receipt. You need to have a paper trail, because these are slippery individuals you're dealing with. And if you have what do they call it, registered mail, return receipt requested, something like that. This way, there'll be no arguing that they didn't get it. You see what I'm saying?
I know, you're right. Yeah, you're spot on. I love that idea too. Both of them, the handwritten note and the other one. I love that. That's perfect. You did it. Yay!
Yeah, but you have to be careful.
You made my heart feel big.
Yeah, okay. But remember now, you're really very sensitive and very aware. You don't want to hurt anyone. They will tend to take advantage. So that's why everything needs to be done legally, needs to be done with a paper trail, and needs to be documented and chronicled and all of that. And then you'll be fine. And they'll be so civil and you might even, if you might want to keep a lawyer. I know it's expensive, but maybe you have a friend who is a lawyer or something, but do a CC to your lawyer friend. This way they feel this, it's not just you, and they will behave better if they think that there's an authority around behind all this, if you will. Okay, so just beware of. I know you know this. I'm just reminding you. You're
You're
welcome.
so wonderful. How we are to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Take care and good luck with it. Okay, love. Bye, honey. Bye. She's so sweet. Amy is like one of the most loving, kind, adorable, sensitive healers in the universe. So that's why she's so nice to me. Okay, going to the fourth caller. I just want to double check, make sure there are no donations, and there aren't tonight. That's good. That's good because I get to the phone lines. And we are going to Laura. Hi, Laura.
Oh,
Hi. How you?
hey, I'm just wondering what you see. Oh, yeah, hello, good. What you see on for career for me.
Career. Okay. Now I've never worked with you.
I'm not working right now.
That's all right. Don't give me any more information. Hold on. I forgot to balance my phone, everyone. Please bear with me while I do so. Okay, now, I've never worked with you before, have I? No, right? No. Spirit says no.
Yeah, not with that, no.
Okay.
I've called in before, but not with that.
Well, not with this question, but you have called in and I've spoken with you? Okay. Hold on. 720 Laura. But you're not the Laura that I've worked with over and over again about her career.
No,
No. Okay.
no,
All right, go
no,
ahead.
no, no, no,
All
no.
right, that's fine. You have a good career or you're in a career that you like very much. But it feels like you need to have some doors opening for you. Would you agree with that, please? That's the first thing I'm getting.
I'm not working right now.
No. I just said you have a career that you like, that you do. I'm not saying you're working, be out of work right now. But you've chosen a career that you like. Have in your mind the idea of what you like to do. You probably have some background in that, correct? That's what Spirit just said.
Okay. A little bit, yes.
Okay. Well, they're telling me that you have a career that you like. You just need to have some doors open for you. You need to get a break, if you will, to get further involved with the career. And I'm going to see if they'll tell me what it is, and then we'll proceed with the opportunity around it, which is what you're really asking me, I believe, from the way this information is coming in. Is that correct, honey? That you want to see whether or not there's an opportunity for what you really want to do. That's how I'm interpreting this. All right. Let's just see something here. Laura 720. Well, you're okay. You're very intuitive. And I also see something around you is healing and medically oriented. So now I'm going to have, okay. So what is the career that you're wanting to do? Because it would be in that area, I think. That's what they're showing.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I should go into hospice or
Oh,
cancer patients, but I don't have all the schooling for it, and there's not a lot of schools around me. Does that make sense?
let's not much. Okay. Yes, perfect. It does make sense, Loveman, but we don't really need to worry about that. Let's just see if we, because there's many ways to get involved with this. You could always start as a volunteer, then get to know people and move up the ladder. There are administrative positions and posts. There's all kinds of things that would require a person with empathy who's very intuitive. You seem to have some kind of credential, though, that doesn't seem very developed, but it is a credential. It seems to be,
I do.
yeah, like a,
Medical assistant.
yeah, I was going to say CNA, but it's a medical assistant, which is good because that'll get you in the door somewhere. And once you're in the door, so you're being encouraged to go right ahead and work with what you have, but targeted towards the facilities of hospice. I feel you'd get right ahead. You'd be able to do what you need to do. I also feel you don't like being in the care. I don't think that's really what you want to do. Like, you don't want to be a medical assistant there. But it's a good way to, at least you have a credential that lends itself well to that environment. And that once you get in the door, you can refine it. Now, so does that make sense to you, honey, so far?
Yes, I need to go back to make more money than that. Does that make sense? So absolutely, you're head on.
Well, you could start with the, the little bit of money they're giving you, and then go to school, on the side, if you want to get started now. I mean, no work. Some work is better than no work, wouldn't you say? I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah. So the bottom,
Sure.
yeah,
Oh, sure.
the bottom line is we start from where we are, and in your case, I love to use this metaphor, this analogy. I remember The Wizard of Oz. We've had that movie, drilled into our head. You remember the yellow brick road? Remember that yellow brick road? So, yeah. So get on the yellow brick road, and it may seem like you're getting nowhere as you move away from the center of that spiral, but you're building, building, building. But the important thing is to be honest with yourself, which is what we're doing right now. We're helping you say it can happen. We're helping you know it's right for you. We're telling you, yes, go ahead in that direction. The doors will open for you. Don't doubt what you really want, and don't let go of it, because you will find that will give you the most satisfaction and the most opportunities in the long run, as this is something that you come in to this lifetime to do. So the reason I'm saying all this is because that's really what you're needing to hear right now, that this is correct for you. And don't doubt it. It's not, shouldn't be going for any old job. You should go for that because it would be meaningful to you.
I know that this is what I was born to do.
Oh, perfect.
I know that.
Oh, good.
And I know I'm very intuitive. It's crazy.
It's who you are. It's not crazy. It's beautiful. Beautiful to be.
It's becoming more and more. Yes, it's crazy how it's doing it. So, okay, God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you're going to feel right at home in that environment, and you will get ahead, go to school on the side, get additional credentials. I feel that ultimately you will be going in a counseling capacity. They'll like a social worker or something like that, because that's where you're going to shine, where you're going to be helping people either prepare for the transition, or those that remain, that family members that are still here, helping them deal with grief. So I hear counseling and social work. Okay, my dear?
You're right on. Validation. You're right on.
And that's what you need. You need the validation because you were a little lost. That's what Spirit's trying to, they're telling me you really need that validation. So that's what we're all about today. Okay, my dear? You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, good, wonderful. All righty, so I think that was the fourth caller. I'm not sure. Then there would be a fifth, and there she is. That's Carol. Hey, Carol. Hi, sweetie. How are you? I'm good, love. So you're wanting another other side connection. The reason I know this is because I screen the calls before the show. People call in 15 minutes before the hour. They have a better chance of being seen, although I try to get to as many people as possible. We're moving along quickly tonight because we didn't have a lot of other side connections. But you are the first one for this evening, Carol, and I want to thank you so much for calling in. So let's see what we could do for you. Carol, oh, huh. Carol, somebody's telling me that you have some kind of ability to connect with the other side. Do you know this? Or maybe you've been getting messages.
No, I mean, I feel like a presence every now and then, but I don't feel like I can communicate.
Well, that's a new piece of information then that you need to hear. It's something to know about yourself. I don't want to do a life reading. I'm trying to get to the other side for you. But they're telling me that first. So you are a medium. You have mediumistic capability. Just keep that in mind. All right. So I do feel that there's a male to you, a father figure or father in spirit. I don't know if that's who you're wanting. I'm going to look around, see if there's anybody else I get for you, Carol. Your last name starts with an O, I think you told me before. Don't give me your whole last name, as this is a public venue. Hold on. I'm not feeling, I mean, I can go in terms of mother figure, father figure. You know, we always have parents in spirit or grandparents or what have you, or older people that way. And I do not feel a spouse to you in spirit. I do not, if that's what you're wanting. I do not feel a child to you in spirit. I'm looking in these areas. If they're there, I'm not picking them up at the moment. The only thing I'm picking up is as I go into the energy of father or grandfather, something like that. It could be a father-in-law. It could be, you know, anything that's an older male to you right now. Okay. I do feel smoking around this person, or this person would have been a smoker. You cannot confirm it because you don't have enough yet. We'll have to give you more information, obviously. I'm not saying your father was a smoker. I'm saying in the general category of older male figure to you, I feel smoking. So we need to refine that a bit. 1 second, please. Okay. I do see a person now in front of me. He is carrying extra weight in midsection. He's sick when he's on Earth. He's not feeling well. And there's also a problem in the abdomen, gastrointestinal issues. There's also something else. It seems that he would have been, looks like he's of a Jewish background. Now, your last name was not Jewish, but that could come from many different ways, right? But this man does show me that he comes from a Judaic background. He is missing hair on the top of his head, and there's some left on the sides. There's a lot of graying there. Would this make any sense to you, please, for anyone you would know? Yeah. Well, that's the only person I'm getting for you. So if you can't recognize that person, then I don't know what to say, because I have to get a connection with you somewhere before I can walk forward, if you will. Now, do you have any father figures, any grandparents? Do you have anyone that you know that would be of Judaic heritage? That's older male. You don't know anyone that's Jewish?
I mean, my father and grandfathers are both spirit, but they were not of that background.
Okay, do you know anybody else like that? Now, I want to tell you this, it could be even a friend's father that you knew, or it could be a spouse, or it could be, there's many ways it could be somebody related to you. I'm needing you to be creative right now so I can move forward is what I'm trying to say. And you cannot recognize this.
I can't think of anything. No, I can't think of anything with smoking and
okay.
With that background, heavy set, no.
Okay. And okay, I also feel cancer, so maybe with your father or your grandfather now, okay? But it may be that it's coming in distorted, the vision, so I'm going to continue and see where we can go with this. We can get some kind of a yes on your end, and maybe we can develop it. If not, I'm going to have to go on to the next call. But I'm going to try, because if they're giving me more, I'll take it. Spirit, I mean. Spirit is giving me more. They're saying something about and having a bigger stomach than usual. I also said cancer. I feel it's in the lungs or chest area to the stomach area. I see gastrointestinal issues. I also see that this person does lose weight towards the end of his life. He does not remain heavy. That could be because I picked the signal up incorrectly. Or they were trying to show me the stomach or something like that. But now the person is thinning out a bit. Did either your grandfather or your father have any gastro issues, please?
No.
All right. And neither of them were smokers?
We're smokers, no.
All right. I know that this is somebody, something. I'm just trying to find out who it is. That's why I'm not letting you go so easily. Where is it going? Because inevitably, when we start, sometimes we start out like that, but then we understand what's going on, and that's where the really beautiful stuff comes from. So just bear with me for a moment, honey. And another thing that could be going on, Carol, is that you have very fixed in your mind who you want. And when we do that, quite often we kind of, we don't realize it, but we're cutting off whatever is coming in. So I'm assuming that you have somebody very special to you that you're thinking of. Is that correct, love?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, now there is a male to you coming in that is more lateral in energy. It feels like a friend, a brother, or it could be a spouse, but I feel a male to you that's more in your peer energy group. Would you have anyone like spirit like that, in spirit like that, please?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, peer, I'm using the word peer energy to you, meaning in your age group or, contemporary of yours. And I'm saying it's male. Hold on. Soul is male. Highly intellectual person. For the person you're thinking of, would you agree this person is highly intellectual, please, Carol? Just yes or no? Right, very smart, engineering mind. Take that broadly. Could mean somebody who's just very competent, likes to get things done, or it could mean specifically that person is an engineer. I'm going to take it broadly at the moment. His mind is always working and always, machinating, thinking of something, analyzing, doing this and that. He's very industrial in his work when he's on Earth. He likes to work, and he also is always very busy with his hobbies. Never a dull moment with this person. Kind of a live wire, if you will, or very active individual. Would you agree he was very active, please? This is a feeling of. All right. See if I could get some physical things. It looks like his original hair color would have been brown to dark brown. Would you understand that, please? Yes or no? Would you understand that his body is on the slender side? Actually, he's a nice physique. His shoulders are a little broader than his hips. Would you understand that for this person you're thinking of, please? All right. He's a kind person, cares about you very much, loves you instinctively. No doubt about it in either of your minds, his or yours. He comes to see you every now and then in your head. He does say hello to you from time to time, in an energetic way. There's something about giving you a flower or flowers. That could mean something more than just what he's showing me right now. But he does, I'm going to give you everything literally as I move forward. I haven't really made significance of the flower, but he just shows me a flower for you. What I'm trying to say is there might be some significance to flowers, but let's put that on the side. Okay. This man does have children on Earth. Would you understand he does have more than one child on Earth? Yes, and when you say yes, I mean, can you confirm it? That's what I mean, yes or no? You're saying yes.
If I'm thinking of the person who it is, then it's yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm building this up with evidence. And he says he does have children on Earth. And he loves you very much. So this is more than just a peer relationship. It seems to be of a heart connection or a love connection. Would you understand that for the person you're thinking of, please? Yes or no? He loves you very, very much. Says, thanks for taking care of him towards the end of his life during his transition. You were very good at what you did, very adept. He says that you are highly skilled in this area, almost as if you have nursing skills. If they're not formal, then you're just astute at this. Would that make sense to you, please? Yes or no? He comes to you with love. He holds your hand at night. He speaks to you when you sleep. He loves you very much. He says, thanks for asking for him to come in. He will be with you in your dreams tonight. He says, do not light a candle for me any longer. I don't need that to transition. I'm fine. I love you very much. Now I'm going to see if he wants to give me something more. There's something more going on. Something more. So, okay, so there was an illness for his transition. You sort of agreed to that when you said you cared for him, or it made sense to you. He said a lot, you know what I mean? He said a lot.
That I did care for was my father.
Oh, okay. So all this fits very much then for your father. Okay, good. All right. He looks, you know, the way he's coming in, even though he's not the peer relationship, he shows younger to me. Maybe he just wants to appear that way. I know, in other words, he's not showing me as an old man, he's showing me like kind of, okay, so kind of, he shows youthful energy. Okay, I'll say it to you that way. Okay. Right. There's something going on. There's something going on in the lungs and the chest area that's difficult for him, difficult to breathe. Would you understand that, please? Can't get air in the lung. Right. So he's the one that's here for you. He loves you very, very much. It felt like a peer energy to you, and there may be another soul that wants to come in that is a peer energy, but as I went to that, then this soul took over. But the slenderness, the good build, a very active engineering mind, very alert, very bright, never a dull moment, loves you very much. And in some respects, there is a peer connection there, and that it's a lot good friend to you, not just a father, good friend to you. You could talk things over with him.
Everything.
Yeah.
Put everything together.
You know, you could talk things over with him all the time. He loved to hear from you. He's a person that you could reason things out with. There's a karmic debt there between the two of you that he really doesn't know how to fulfill anymore. In other words, being your sounding board for things that you need help with, or you like to talk to him, you miss that, you know, missing that ability to get sounding board from him. He says something about your mother being with him in spirit. Would you know that, please? Mother with him?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's with him and loves everyone very much. Give everyone his regards. And he wants you to take very good care of yourself. He says he will appear to you in your dreams if you ask him to let him. And he has been trying to come in the near past, not the distant past, but the near past. He's been coming to you more lately to help you a lot. He says there's certain things you're working on right now in your life that are getting the better of you. He says he's trying to help you with this. He's using the word self-esteem or feeling good about yourself and some of the choices that you made in life. He's making me feel that there would be some kind of upsetting relationship in the home right now that's getting you down, and he's trying to be there for you. And you know, be sort of your witness or your sounding board or the person that's of strength to help you. So don't feel alone, okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, my dear. You sound like you're either have a nasal problem or you're crying a little bit. Are you crying at all? Oh, that's right. We talked about
No, I have bad allergies.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, sweetheart. Okay, so anyway, he's there for you. If you're going through any kind of stress or whatever, he wants to be there for you. So never feel alone, okay, my dear?
Thank you very much, Laura. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you for calling in, honey. Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, sometimes in the beginning, the signals are very mixed up. Okay, I'm now going to go to Keisha. If she's still there, it'll be a miracle. Hey, Keisha. Wow, you hung in there. Hi.
I took a little break. How are you?
I'm great, honey. How are you? Don't tell me too much because I have to answer your life questions. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so I actually want to gain weight, right? And I feel like I'm really, really under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something's going on with my hair is falling out, and I'm kind of feeling like scattered, like something's going on with my brain, and something's going on with me. And I'm just trying to think about what's going on, like why, I don't know, I want to gain weight, like why am I having issues with
weight loss?
I guess my weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my hair, like I'm having different things going on. Yeah.
All right. Well, the first thing, and this is not psychic, this is more like it's coming in, so I'll give it to you. You know, you may have already thought about this, but you might have a hyperactive thyroid, right?
Okay.
You know, so that's the first thing that comes in that you need to have checked by a licensed medical professional. I'm going to see you are under a lot of stress at work right now. Everybody's asking you for everything at the same time. You're trying to do it, but that ain't going to work out. You do need to put some boundaries in place about what people expect of you or what you will give them. You just need to set them in your mind and then act that way at work. Smiling is good for you. Always give everything to everybody with a big smile. They'll like that, and then it won't be so tense all the time. The people around you don't seem to, they're not sensitive. They all just need what they need when they need it. And it's not a personal thing, you know, and that'll help you. Again, if you understand it's not personal, it's just they need what they need when they need it. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 100% responsive. Nobody is expecting you to do something you can't do, is the bottom line here. So that's one thing Spirit wants you to know. That'll help you relax a little bit. Yeah, they're asking a lot, but they don't realize how much they're asking because they're only thinking of what they need. And if they don't get what they need when they need it, you're not going to lose your job. Okay?
No, I'm not working right now. I'm not working. I'm actually still looking for a job, but I started my little business I have. But maybe doing that is like I'm trying to balance a lot of things at the same time.
Okay. Well, what I see people around you asking for things, and like if you're not responsive to them 100 million % right then, you feel like you're doing something wrong. So I don't know, maybe that's.
Yeah, no. I think it's probably, sometimes people call me and text me, and I feel like I've got to respond, even though maybe I shouldn't. I should just finish doing what I'm doing.
You have to sit back.
First.
That's perfect. Yeah. Now, again, there could be medical reasons for being more like that, high strung, if you will, or thinking like I have to do this and that, like you're just adrenaline driven kind of person. So let me just look now health wise. There's a little bit of a few things are, in other words, part of it is functional and part of it is physical, medical. And again, I'm only a medical medium. I'm a medical medium.
Right.
But not your doctor. So it's in complement to all of that. Okay, so let's just look. Very smart person, equal rights, egalitarian, the way you look at things. 1 second, I'm trying to find the physical thing. Yeah, you're on adrenaline overload. It's affecting your lymph system, your immune system. I'm going to give you more. Hold on. What about the thyroid, please, Spirit? What's going on with that? So it's not so much the thyroid, it's the stress and the adrenaline things. I want to see why you have this, why you're getting the adrenaline thing going. What do they call that? Adrenaline fatigue syndrome. Your hair could fall out from stress, right? Your hair could fall out from stress, and it could affect everything, the metabolism, everything. Why is she having this, please? Your hormones are off all the time. You also battle a bit with mood swings. You sometimes feel almost dizzy from the mood swings, like maybe literally, but it's a hormone imbalance. Primarily, it's a hormone imbalance. Now I need to go deeper. Hold on. Why does she have the hormone imbalance, please? Because of adrenaline fatigue syndrome. Okay, well, where'd she get that from, please? Well, it's a lot of things together created that, okay? So it's what you'd have to do is a long-term plan is find the work-life balance, right mental attitude, eating the right kind, raw, organic a lot, as much as they're telling me raw, organic a lot, and bionutrition is integral to this. Clean water is also important. And the biology needs to be slowly put back in place. There's also what's called the biome, which is the flora in the body is off. So this is a whole healing body thing. Okay. Okay. So like, so like, for example, you would have to not eat any sweets and also get away from white flour, starchy carbs. Yeah, white flour, starchy carbs, sugars, You'd have to get the biobalance back in place by eating a lot of pre and probiotic foods, which are usually vegetables. And I know this sounds very boring and tedious, but
No, I'm just wondering, how am I going to gain weight? That be, I want to gain weight. I need to gain weight. That's what I want to do. Well, in certain areas, but I can eat, organic meat and vegetables.
well, you have to
And there's
put.
always gluten-free
10
stuff.
seconds.
Well, you
You
can't
know.
you can't go for the symptom to get long-term results. You have to go for the underlying foundation. I mean, you could run around eating a lot of fudgicles and, candy and ice cream and all that. Maybe it'll give you a little bit of a weight gain initially. But I'm feeling that
No, I
because
want to use food. I want to use food, like real food. No, I want to use real food and maybe weight training to do it.
yeah, I mean, you have to eat the whole real food. A lot of vegetables, keep away from the sugary and the white carbs, the starchy carbs. You can eat a lot of calories if you need to. You can eat, right? Now, some people differ in what proteins to eat, how to eat the proteins. You've got people who are into keto and say animal protein and beef and all that, if it's grass-fed is right. I'm going to not get into that right now because we can go on a tangent. But probably, let me see, if all my favorite ways to eat, I would follow Dr. Mark Hyman. I think he's got it worked out the best. You could check out, it's basically what I'm saying now. You eat some animal protein, fish, high quality protein with the fat, but it needs to be organic. And then you eat the organic vegetables and some fruits and all that. And that should help start relaxing your system, getting you back in balance. If you want to do weight training, you got to get enough protein, right? You got to get all that right.
Yeah.
But don't forget the flora, the bacteria in the system. That is so important. Everything. And it's going to help you maintain everything. So to me, it's a real big system thing. It's a whole thing, everything. So go for the big picture health and everything will start to fall into place. You do need to do some meditation. You do need to do some exercise. You do need to do some clarifying and boundary settings. It's a lifestyle.
Okay? I get what you're saying. It's a whole, a healthy lifestyle kind of
That's
in every way.
And also be very kind and giving to yourself. And that will help a lot with this whole process. Feeling deserving.
Yes. I decided to start at least making me breakfast. Because sometimes I'll go a whole day and I may eat one meal or just not even eat at all. And I realized this isn't healthy.
You are funny. Did you hear that, everybody? He's saying, I want to gain weight. I want to gain weight. But sometimes I go all day and only eat one meal. Well, okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
I've been depriving and neglecting myself.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that, by the way, there are some people that say fasting is good for you. And I do think so. Intermittent fasting, or whatever the fasting is. But in your case, you got to get everything in balance first before you go to any fasting.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying. But I'm going to get on it. Thank you. I'm just so stressing out. And my mind is feeling so scattered. Because I feel like I'm giving it so many commands. It's like almost, I check out after a while. Because I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself or something.
You're putting it on yourself. Exactly. That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, it's a whole.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'll call that a lifestyle lift instead of a facelift, a lifestyle lift, if you will. Okay.
Yeah. And boundaries and nurturing myself.
Nurturing yourself, taking it easy, being lazy here and there, and letting things go, not being so perfect, taking care of yourself. Some days you may stay indoors all day and just relax, maybe watch old movies and eat bonbons. Oh, but they have to be healthy bonbons. Anyway.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much.
All right, honey. Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, honey. Okay, everybody, want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to working with you again next Monday at 6:45. I start clearing the calls 7 o'clock Eastern time. The show goes to 8, and I look forward to working with you all again. Then, bye.
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And bye to everybody on Facebook. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to working with you all in the future. Namaste.